Hi there, Internet. My name's Court, and you've got courtside seats for my review of Agnes. Let's do it. Agnes is a drama horror from co-writer and director Mickey Reece. The film stars Molly C. Quinn, Hayley McFarland, Jake Horowitz, Ben Hall, Mary Buss, Chris Sullivan, and Sean Gunn. Rumors of demonic possession at a religious convent prompts a church investigation into the strange goings-on among its nuns. A disaffected priest and his neophyte are confronted with temptation, bloodshed, and a crisis of faith. So welcome back to my ongoing coverage of Fantasia Festival out of Montreal. It's a genre festival, a lot of fantasy, sci-fi, horror, stuff like that. I'm going to have a bunch of reviews going up on this channel over the next couple days, so check back for that if that's your thing. Now, this is a bit of a strange movie. I spent the first half thinking I wasn't enjoying it all that much, and then I spent the second half thinking, this is pretty good. I mentioned off the top that this is a drama horror. I wish to clarify. It's not a melding of drama and horror. It's a horror in the first half with a little bit of comedy thrown in for good measure, and a straight-up drama in the back half. Now, generally, movies tend to follow a 3-act structure. Of course, there are exceptions. But this is really a 2-act film. Like I said, the first half is a horror with a bit of comedy, and the second half is a drama that's more a meditation on grief and faith, or perhaps lack thereof. The first half involves a potentially possessed nun in a convent, and an exorcism with the requisite old priest and a young priest, the pitched-down demon voice, things flying everywhere, and a lot of profanity. The movie certainly wears its exorcist influences on its sleeve. The second half focuses on another nun, Sister Mary, played by Molly C. Quinn, and her crisis of faith following the events of the exorcism. I will say straight up, the first half of this movie, the horror half as it were, didn't really work for me. A couple good moments and some strong performances, more on that later. But I didn't find it at all scary. I rarely jived with the humor, though I did get a couple of good laughs. And it just felt derivative of better possession films. We also learned that the older priest, Father Donahue, played by Ben Hall, has kind of a spotty past. And while this is referenced pretty heavily, it doesn't really have all that much of an impact on the plot. There's a moment early in the movie where the two priests and a bunch of nuns are walking through this corridor towards the room of the possessed nun. And there's like an electronic beat. It's edited really heavy and it looks like a scene out of a heist movie. It just felt so out of place I started laughing. But then after the exorcism, the movie takes what is admittedly a very jarring tonal shift and becomes a film about Sister Mary's crisis of faith following this trauma. That's where the movie really started working for me. It becomes a sad, introspective dirge of sorts, and I actually found it rather beautiful. Most of the performances in here are quite strong. I liked Ben Hall as the film's sort of Father Merrin proxy. Chris Browning does a wonderful job of portraying sort of a televangelist snake oil salesman. And I loved Chris Sullivan, who I recognized as a sort of avuncular diner owner who helps out Eleven in the first season of Stranger Things. He's so genuinely effortlessly creepy and slimy in this movie. Thought it was great. But the standout was easily Molly C. Quinn as Sister Mary, who really carries the second half of the film. The movie is called Agnes, but Mary is clearly the main character. And Quinn crushes it. It's a quiet, understated performance that really worked for me. One performance that didn't work for me was Mary Buss as Mother Superior. It feels like she was really leaning into the comedy in a way that nobody else really was. Just sort of gawking with these wide eyes, and it really felt like she felt she was in a completely different movie. It also didn't help that her voice sounded exactly like Debbie Downer to me. That was a little distracting. That's no knock on the actress. Your voice is your voice, but I did notice it. I did really like the way this movie was shot, though. It's a lot of wide, static shots that are framed beautifully. I found these shots to be specifically reminiscent of Exorcist 3, underrated horror film. The color palette's a little desaturated, but it works with the tone of the movie. I will say that the ending of the movie is really abrupt to the point where I felt the need to sort of scrub back to make sure I didn't miss something. But on the second watch of the final scene, I found it worked really well. Agnes feels very inconsistent in many ways. To go from horror comedy to introspective drama is kind of a ballsy move, but it doesn't quite work as an overall piece. That said, anyone looking for like a terrifying possession movie should probably look elsewhere because I think this one will disappoint. Now, I don't have a proprietary rating system as of yet, so I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to give Agnes. And I think I'm going to give Agnes a...
Hello, dear. I'm Agnes, your neighbor to the right.
Out of 10. So now I want to know, are you looking forward to Agnes? What's your favorite possession movie of all time? Whatever your thoughts, hit the comments below. Let's discuss. If you enjoyed this review, please smash that like button and give a share if you really enjoyed it. It just helps the video reach more people, helps the channel grow. I appreciate it very much. And hey, why not take a second, do me a favor, click subscribe and ring that bell to subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, entertainment news, trailer reactions, Fantasia Fest, all that good stuff. Hope you guys are all safe and healthy. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Take care.